Hello and welcome back to my videos. I'm Klepik and today I'll be learning how to draw furries so I can make bank and buy more miku figures. In this video, I'll walk you through how I studied furry art, and then I'll be doing 2 finished pieces to show off my super epic mad skills. And also, sorry if my voice sounds kind of bad in this. I'm getting over being sick, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds funky. The very first thing I did was that I compiled a bunch of images into a Pinterest board. I filled it with anatomy tips, animal features, and styles that I thought were cool that I was going to try and kind of like take things from. So I also organized them into like categories on Pinterest, which I've never done before, and I thought it was really fancy of me to do so, but anyway, that's kind of off topic. After I made the Pinterest board, I got to really studying animals in my practice sketchbook. I first started off with doing a ton of realistic studies in my sketchbook. You can see the sped up versions of my studying on screen, but that's not even like half of what I did. I'll show you all my study pages when I'm done talking about them, but I thought it would be a good idea to draw realism and then try and get into stylizing them. So I drew the most common furry type, which is, I had to search this up, a wolf, which honestly I thought so, but I wanted to make sure. So wolves are also a good base of learning for other related species such as foxes, cats, dogs, and other things with just snouts in general. And after that, I drew like 2, and then I got bored. So on the next page, I practiced by drawing my dogs, Seely and Harley, and honestly, I liked how these turned out. I was also getting the hang of the head guidelines that I was using. I'll give a rough sketch of the guidelines that I used for my furry drawing heads on screen now. I also knew I wanted to try drawing Miku as a furry because, of course I did, I love Miku. I'm doing this video so I can get Miku figures. It's Miku. And she also gave me some motivation to keep going. I figured she would be a bunny because of the long ears of a rabbit, could be like kind of her pigtails, which I thought would be a cute idea. And I really liked how she turned out the first time, but then I tried to recreate it on the page after and it was scary. It was scary. I think I made her face too long on the following pages as well, as I tried to like copy the one I did before, like just straight up copy it and not actually learn how to draw her face. I did end up getting it right though, which I'm very happy about. After that, I thought I was doing pretty good, so I went back to wolves, but this time I was trying to stylize them. I wanted them to be kind of realistic but still look like my style. I don't know how my human style would copy over to animals, but I just thought it would magically do so. The problem is though that I've never tried to force myself to stylize something. Stylizing people comes naturally to me since I'm used to drawing people, and I've been constantly drawing them for years, but with animals, I didn't really know how to go about stylizing them. So I gave up for a bit and moved on to trying to draw legs. And let me tell you, furry legs are my worst nightmare. I would have become a furry artist so much sooner if I could figure out how to draw their legs. But they genuinely confuse me so much. Like, I love furries and I think they're so cool. I've just never been able to get past how to draw their legs. But I did it this time. I looked at a ton of references and other furry artists, and after only 2 pages of sketches, I got a grasp on how to draw furry legs. But that wasn't the only nightmare that I was facing that day. I would also be facing cats. You don't understand. When I say I suck at drawing cats, I suck at drawing cats. But I knew I had to figure them out if I wanted to be a pro furry artist. So I buckled up and I sat back down to try and figure them out. Apparently though, I conquered this deathly fear pretty quickly because it only took me a page to really get them down. I think it was because I had studied so many different animals already that the other drawings kind of just helped me figure out how the cat's faces worked. I also practiced some open mouth animals, a cat and a wolf, because I thought I should know how to draw like big canine teeth and stuff. So I can draw some edgy furries. Looking forward to those. I want to draw some really edgy furries. It honestly sounds really fun to me. After all that, it was time for me to attempt stylization again. I looked back at my Pinterest board and I really tried to figure out how the artist stylized the animals that they drew, and then I gave it another shot. And guess what? I really succeeded this time! I really like how they turned out. The wolf and the fox specifically. The cat was a little derpy, but I drew a better one in my final drawings, so it's okay. After all that, it was time for me to go off to the final pieces. Once I figured out my composition for the first one, it was game time. I needed to show off my mad skills so I could get some buyers. On screen, here's a quick montage of all the study pages that I did before doing my final drawings. On screen now is going to be the first of 2 final drawings to prove myself as a worthy commission option. For these 2 drawings, I chose to take some of my already existing characters and make them into furries, because I'm lazy and didn't want to make new characters. This drawing is of Buon, one of my magical girl characters who lives and fights on the moon to protect Earth from monsters and meteors. In this drawing, I wanted her to look lonely, and I also wanted to have both the moon in the shot and the Earth far away as well. I had a bit of trouble coming up with the composition for this drawing, honestly, and went through like 7 different versions in my sketchbook, but then I finally settled on this composition, which I think turned out well. I knew I wanted to have a full body for this drawing because I wanted to show that I could draw full body furries, and especially their legs, which I obviously succeeded in because I'm just so good. Joke, I'm not that egotistic, but I am a little proud of how this drawing turned out, and that is all for the first drawing. I think it's pretty cool. I said that's all for the first drawing, but the audio is really short for that section, so you're gonna get like 30 seconds of like just background music. Enjoy! On to the second drawing. You know what's better than... Guys, I have to get through this line. This is the second recording. You know what's better than furries? Gay furries. That's right. I can draw your gay furries. These 2 characters in this drawing are Clown, the big one, and Popstar, the small one. The lore on these 2 is a little longer, so it'll take a second to explain it. And I totally didn't just copy this from their art fight bios. No way, I would never. So, Clown. Clown is an insane clown in my Ravers vs. Circus storyline. He managed to rent half of the warehouse where the Ravers have parties, and he managed to rent it for free because the landlords thought he was adorable. They're a sweet old couple. And he holds grand circus performances at night where he thinks he has a whole group of clowns and audiences at his shows every night when he performs, but really he's just screaming, yelling, and performing by himself in an empty part of a warehouse. Guys, he's so lonely, help him. Frasier is Kazoo's only friend who is always there to pick up after his messes. I just wanted to add that in there to show how lonely this boy is. So, Popstar's bio is way longer than his though. Can you tell I have a favorite? Hopefully not, but yes I do. Popstar used to sing Comptine, which is a French lullaby, and that was what he was known for at the start of his popstar career. So Popstar used to make French lullabies and sing them on radio. This made him really popular with new mothers and projected his music career. He planned to continue this career for a long time until he met Kazoo. Kazoo was in a rush one day and had mistaken Popstar, who was on their way home from picking up groceries, for one of his landlords. He, as he always was to his landlords, who gave him free of rent half of the warehouse where he hosted his circus performances, was very grateful whenever he saw them. So the landlords were the two people who Kazoo would treat nicely, if not overly nice, because of their generosity. So when Kazoo mistook Popstar for one of his landlords, he did everything he could to make Popstar have a good day. He asked him how his day was, he helped him with his groceries the best he could, and even tucked him into bed. The old lady landlord has trouble getting into bed sometimes because her bed is high up and she has like bad knees. And I also thought it would be funny, so he did that. While tucking him into bed, instead of singing a lullaby or even Comptine, I hope that's how you say it, he sung a metal song. This sparked something in Popstar. No one had ever been this nice to him before. This is what projected his career of singing French lullabies to singing heavy metal, which, while completely different, didn't ruin his career at all. If anything, the sharp change made news give him more focus and gain him more popularity. The one problem was that after that, he could never approach Kazoo again. Every time he got too anxious or flustered, and Kazoo didn't even remember him. So Popstar just sings heavy metal songs about Kazoo and tries to spot him whenever he can, even if he'll never have the guts to talk to him again. What a hopeless romantic loser. Anyway, I hoped you enjoyed me rambling about my characters. I haven't really been able to give proper intros for any of my characters so far, so that was really fun to get off my chest. And then again, for this drawing, I wanted to show that I could draw complex poses, detailed faces, and different animals. Clown in this drawing is a hyena, I hope you can tell, and hopefully obvious enough. Guys, the sick is getting to my voice. I can't pronounce words. I hope you can tell, and hopefully obvious enough, Popstar is a cat. While this drawing didn't turn out exactly how I wanted with the colors, I still think it was a lot of fun, and I hope it shows off my skills well enough. Alright, I think that's all for this video. If you would like to commission me, you should totally do so. Details will be in the pinned comment along with the prices. I can turn your favorite character into a furry. I can draw your OC as a furry. I can draw your OC that is a furry. I can turn you into a furry. I can turn your mom into a furry. You want your whole family drawn as furries? I got you. I can draw Gojo as a furry. I can draw you and Miku as furries together. I can draw whatever OC you throw at me as a furry. I can draw that one super edgy Warriors Cat OC as a furry. I can draw all of Shadow Clan as anthropomorphic furries fighting River Clan. I can draw your Fridge as a furry. I can draw the Mona Lisa as a furry. I can draw